to a little flow here. Just talking to Kevin about the valving on this XC. It's the closed cartridge exact fork, spring fork on the 24s, XCs and XCWs, but this is valved quite a bit stiffer than the XCW. I mean, they always were, but he's like, yeah, it's pretty much a motocross valving on that thing, from what he's seen. But he does really like, so Kevin does suspension for a living. He's the owner of Moto Experts, and he's like, man, that new KTM fork, just like what I was been saying, he's like, that's a pretty stinking awesome cartridge from the factory. He's riding he's riding he's got a cone valve and track set up on the bike he's riding today. I need to put mine on this bike. I literally have that set in the box. It was on my 250 XC, and I took it off so that it can be a sweepstakes bike, because I didn't want to give the bike away with that suspension on it. But what was I saying? Just that I need to put it on this bike.
So I was talking about putting the the cone valve forks and the track shock on this bike just a minute ago, and I actually have done that. Obviously, well, not obviously, I've done that now, and I haven't actually ridden the bike up in the mountains yet after doing that. But I've taken the bike to the motocross track twice, because my son is he's been big into that. My 15-year-old, he's riding a 125, and he's been big into that. So I've taken this bike to the track. It's the most powerful bike I've ever had on a motocross track, and I've only ridden moto a little bit. I'm very, very novice at it. But this bike is a fire freaking breathing dragon, and it is awesome at the track. It's like, I've had 250Fs at the track before, and I think I took the Sherco 250 SE up to the track once. But this sucker is so powerful, this 300 in the green hot map or whatever. It is dynamite up there on the track, and the forks are great, the shock is great, and they're great out here in this stuff. I know, because I had it on the 250 XC, that sweepstakes bike. So I'm excited to get the bike up in the mountains, and that's one of the best things. That's one of the things that's awesome about these XC bikes, is they can be ridden in so many different areas, and they can do well with the suspension that they have, and with the gearing that they have, and the motor that they have. This one, in its current form, where I'm riding it on this day, it's got the stock suspension, and it's got that it's not the Explorer, they call it the exact fork, and it's the spring fork. It's a little bit stiff for this type of riding, because we're not going quite fast enough, and there's enough like rocks and roots and different things that it can be it was just a little stiff. But if you're going to go out in the desert and be a little bit faster, it'd be great. And it'd be great on the track for most guys. Most guys aren't doing huge, nasty jumps and, doing that crazy of stuff. And so the stock suspension would actually work quite well on a motocross track as well. So, I mean, it's a fantastic package. And that motor is just, oh my gosh, it's just banging, For the hard enduro stuff, though, the more I've ridden these bikes here in 2024, well, the 23 and the 24 XC bikes, I think the motor is just a little bit too hot. It's hard. It's easy to light up the rear wheel. Traction has been an issue. Traction's been an issue on all the 24 bikes. I feel like we've had to run a little bit more sag than normal, have to have the rebound a little bit faster than normal in order to get the traction to the rear wheel that I want. And then these XCs make it even more challenging, because the freaking thing has so much power, and it's just so lightning quick to the rear. it just like can light up the rear tire so fast. And when I say light up the rear tire, I mean like spin the wheel. So traction becomes an issue on a bike like this. But it was super fun to get out this day. This is about a month ago that I'm doing this ride. And as far as where I'm at, in fact, it's maybe a little over a month ago. It's a little over a month ago, maybe 5-6 weeks. Need to get back up into the mountains. As I'm recording this, it's early October, and it's been kind of rainy this week. So as the week progresses, though, it looks like the weather's going to get better and better, and hopefully we can get still up into some of these mountains. The autumn fall riding is usually really great. The smells and the sights and the sounds, not the sounds, but the sights and the smells are actually really, really great. And the temperatures dip a little bit, so you're not sweating so much. So that's what it's like here in the Rocky Mountains. If you can get up there before you get too much snow, it's actually pretty freaking fantastic. So this is a fun bike, and it will be a sweepstakes bike for December. I'm also looking to get a 300 XCW, maybe a hard enduro bike to let you guys win. So yeah, the sweepstakes with the KTMs, they just do better than the sweepstakes with other bikes. So yeah, I'll probably have a couple of KTMs in there in that sweepstakes, unless we can figure something else out. I would like to get a Beta 300RR again and try that, maybe a 2024 model if it's possible, but we'll just kind of see. We'll just see how it goes. So anyway, I'll let you guys finish out the rest of this video here. I chat with Kevin a little bit at the end as we kind of come up to a fence, but hope everybody's having a great week, and leave a single track. Thanks. I'm just trying to get a flow. That's how I felt about you. I was like, I can't quite see you. It's hard, like you got all the freaking trees, and you know there's rocks and roots, and there's all the stuff that's right on the side of the trail. Right. It's fun to follow somebody though, and like when all you're doing is like watching their rear wheel, like hoping you see something. You know, like if you're watching somebody the rear wheel because you're going fast enough you can't really see, you're like, I'm just gonna wait for their bike to get upset and then try to avoid that exact line because I can't quite see what they've hit.
That's the drawback of chasing someone with racing, is you can go faster by seeing what they're doing, but then you can also follow them down a long course.
Yeah.
You're not looking at the race course.
Yeah. Well, and then also, I'm sure you do get faster because then you get kind of used to that speed or whatever, but I feel like you can get hurt too.